if kinyako vale a snake as a pet, sometimes give it a permit. I went to university with the intention of doing pharmacy.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a pharmacist. But the disadvantage is that if you fell up below, you're not gonna thrive. So there are people that did zoology by Humana Miracle right away. There are people that did zoology to this day they haven't worked.
Okay, so do you have kids at the moment?
No, I don't have kids at the moment. So it's just me and my husband, the two of us.
Can you affect your travel or just a personal choice? It's like, nah, not now, Joe.
I believe that kids are blessings.
Yeah.
They are a gift from God.
Yeah.
So if they come, it's because God blessed you. If they don't, it's because maybe God believed that it's not the right time.
True.
So in my case, I believe that it is not the right time for me to have a family yet. But I believe that I'm going to be a mother one day.
Yeah.
All the way from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. And now,
Real Talk Podcast.
Examine support the one charismatic voice of Gas Face aka TT Mkhatshwa. Mabanrata maru Mkhatshwa. Nguma luziteka langa ntwandwe. This is another episode of Real Talk Podcast in partnership with Mushito Creatives. So yeah, from Twasa to being or Letitia Gima.
All right, Letitia ke ngwana wa ko Ramathabata.
Yeah.
Born and bred Ramathabata,
Yeah.
a place called Lekgwareng. So ke tswa ko Sekhaolelo district.
Sure.
So I was born from a family of 4 siblings.
Yeah.
I'm the last born of 4 girls. So ke nna fejane ya from the 4 girls whereby ke nna last born. So I was born and bred ka di 1980s.
1980s.
Yes,
Khalolo ona, ne?
1980s ke gale ka nako ile ya botobetsa ke nako ya rena. So yeah, I was born in Ramathabata. Ke tsene sekolo hana ko Ramathabata. From primary ke le ko Ramathabata. High school ke tsene Ramathabata only grade 8 and grade 9. I then moved to Leboakgom. So a lot of people are from Leboakgom.
Sure.
But I was born and bred ko Ramathabata. From Ramathabata we then moved to Leboakgom. That's when ke thoma go dira my grade 10 ko Leboakgom Commercial College. And then from Leboakgom Commercial College, I then went to the University of the North back then.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Now.
It told me like the University of the North.
Yeah.
Then from there, then it then changed to the University of Limpopo. I then studied a Bachelor of Science.
Yeah.
In
Zoology.
for 4 years.
4 years.
Yes.
So like okay, sharp. Since we learn, I like this. Like zoology, like this thing. One or two fruit, one or what? Ina ko dira zoology. What tell you jwa? Cause lina get over thereenge.
Yo, yeah, ne. So how I got to study zoology was this. Let me just take you guys a little bit back. So my mother passed on in 1997.
Oh, sorry.
So from then, my sister then took me under her wing. That's how I went to Leboakgom to do my high school. So after I finished my matric,
Yeah.
back then in our time, whenever we passed like S over M. So I passed ka S.
Ka S.
So yeah, okay.
Joshua, what is the S, Metro? Mr. Tima, what is the S? Next.
I know it. Yeah.
The S. Musulano Wahal. Yeah, no,
So I didn't pass my maths well. I didn't pass my physics well. So my sister then said, you know what? Instead of repeating your grade 12, go and do a degree, extended degree program.
Okay.
So instead of doing your degree at 3 years, you do it in 4 years. The first year of your qualification, in a way, it's like you are sapping, but outside because of more university.
True.
So you are doing half of the modules. So if the university was supposed to be offering you 16 modules, you'll do 8. And then those 8 I saw the passage high school. So I then did my extended degree program, Bachelor of Science in Zoology. That's how it started. But why zoology? It came like this. I went to university with the intention of doing pharmacy.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a pharmacist because I was interested in becoming a doctor, but the thought of just a prank. But you know what? Something relating to medical it's either optometrist or pharmacist or dentist.
Sure.
At least that way you don't deal with needles.
Yeah.
I then went for pharmacy. So when I went to pharmacy, because I didn't pass my maths well, they then told me, the investigator, you know what, go and do a plain degree. When you finish your plain degree, come back and register for a pharmacy.
Sure.
I then register for my plain degree. We call it a plain degree because you are not specializing yet.
Sure.
You specialize at third year.
Proper.
So after my first year, I failed maths again because maths in non-drapa.
Yeah.
So I failed maths. It meant that ngaskhoneka go pharmacy because maths was all outstanding.
Sure.
I then went for my second year in the Bachelor of Science in Zoology. From second year, I went my third year. After third year, I completed. And then after Mukari, you know what, let me go look for a job. Looking for a job was the hardest thing ever.
Sure.
I then said, you know what, let me go back to school and do my honors. My sister said, you cannot stay at home because you must do something.
Sure.
I then went and did my honors. So I did my honors in zoology. When I was doing my honors, I then got offered a sponsor to do my masters. So I then just jumped straight to being to registering masters in zoology.
Sure.
So that's how it became that I end up being a zoologist. But along the way, you get to love what you do. I know that a lot of students or learners, sometimes you find yourself udira a degree, then you hate it. And I didn't.
Yeah.
I fell in love with nature. I fell in love with the environment. I fell in love with protecting the environment because I got to learn actually because of nature. If it wasn't for nature, today we are breathing now because of nature.
True.
Water that we drink, it's nature. The soil that gives us the butternut and the pineapples and so forth, it's from nature. Then that's how I fell in love with nature. Then I said, you know what, I'm going forward with this degree. Then I registered my honors and my masters. Then from there, I started working.
Okay, speaking of nature, what if now maybe I get information go fail? You understand? Maybe when I dirang like littering, affect nature. So like for someone I tell you right now, I didn't like advantage, disadvantage of it.
You know what? I believe that we all are environmentally aware, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know, plastic on the floor, it's wrong.
Yeah. But
you do it either way. Why? You are not environmentally conscious. So we are environmentally aware, but we are not environmental conscious.
Yeah.
That's why but wa khona latla ko strateng. Why? So what I can say to someone who's watching at the moment in terms of how to take care of nature, like simple things to take care of nature, like simple, do not throw things on the floor. Don't throw things on the floor. Let's not pour things in the water. The poisonous things in the river.
True.
The diapers in the rivers. So let's not throw things on the floor. Let's not throw things in the water. Let's save water. South Africa, it's a water scarce country.
Yeah.
Like Cape Town at the moment, they are buying water. We are at that era, because barubulela mets in the morning, barubulela in the afternoon. But 20 years ago, mets nights are 24 hours, 7 days a week.
True.
But now, why? We are wasting water. So we need to conserve water. How do we then conserve water? Let's not waste water by doing unnecessary things. Like I water the garden during the day.
Yeah.
We know how during the day we fish. And every fisher, go cholla metsi go no shetsa metsi a fetsa a no evaporator.
True.
Aya go godimo, then after more than go tshwana go so no shetsa ntse no shetsa gape. Simple like that. Motho anya go tlhatsa koloi. Onya go tsa hose pipe. A tshele koloi ye yotlhe. A fetsa a tshele ka sep. A fetsa tla tshele gape ka metsi.
Sure.
You see the amount of water that is wasted.
Yeah.
O mongwe a sho o nya go tlhapa ene ke montshegare go a fish o tlatsa bafo a nya go tlhapa wa sa no shumisa 20 liter wa tshela ka mara ga basin then wa tlhapa wa tswa re late you going to bath again. O mongwe a sho o nya go tlhapa o bulela shower wa tsamaya o ya makuleng
Sure.
o ya go reka something o tlo bua o tlo khona tsena ka mo showereng the amount of water that you wasted between going out and coming back to the shower metse ale a wasted o mongwe a sho o nya ko tlhatso di biana ke komike one le plate one o tlatsa basin why not wait for di biana tse dintshinyana then be gona o di tlhatso. So in a way, when I'm saying these things, in a way, already show now the things that you mustn't do in order to protect our environment. Yang wa hape ashe, re khatha ditlhare, re fetsa re di biale, mara nya go hema, and re oxygen itswa ko ditlhareng.
True.
So where do we expect to get this oxygen? And we are many. The more we are, the less oxygen. If you go to Emalahleni, for example, now, what do you see at Wheatbank?
Sure.
There's a lot of smoke because of the industries there.
True.
And then the air that's flowing that side, for obvious reasons, because the industries. But if re ka dira dilo tse re bitsa re ke di environmental mitigations re tlo fetsa re ba le
Sekhaolelo. Real Talk podcast re bolela Sekhaolelo. Bolela hape se.
So we are mitigating the environmental impacts that re di dira. So in other words, when you cut a tree biala tree engwe ga o dira development dira ntho re bitsa re ke rehabilitation gantsi mo di mine go mana ge go na le mine ba re ba di rehabilitation program go mana ba replanta what they have destroyed.
Okay.
So that's what we are saying gore motho mo a senyago a re senya mara re mo le go senyegile a re go fixing by replanting, by making sure that we keep our environment intact. But I believe that me and you, we know by now that environment is safe. That's the environmentally unconscious.
True.
Because when you are in your own space, ukasi latle diaper mo fase, au fetsa mo dia dijo wa re hey RJ, why is it that you can't do that?
Exactly.
But you wanna throw a diaper on the floor, go strat and motho mongwe santse a tla feta direng ai gat go ba ngwana a mona ra loka ba ma rato topa ba tlo topa then ba ishaka ka gano or an animal ga me rama kana why is beef so expensive?
Sure.
Why? Because our beefs are no longer, our cows are no longer enough or sufficient or ba ka gona gore direla nama from tsona go ra gambelo they are buying a cow more expensive. That's why re feletsa re reka beef ituro.
Sure. So gataba ya back to being a zoologist ne ke nyako tseba gataba ya di pitbull cause ya di pitbull o ne le re tsenele ja ka last year. So ne ke nyako tseba ka that like unida like maybe a license or something to have it like kamara ka mo jarateng or like if maybe unyako is balona ka mo jarateng ne are there any rules jero sancho o di apply like maybe we warfare o be le lo botele lo like along those lines?
I'm so glad that South Africa ka boyona re laolwa ke go ba re follower the constitution and then re na le di bylaws, go na le di acts, go na le di policies. So all these policies and act and laws ka botsona di bolela le nna le wena.
Sure.
Di re nna le wena if ke nyako ba le a snake as a pet santse ke be le permit. The same way with dogs. If a dog like a pit bull ile gore dangerous mo batho wa re motsantsha re be le permit mo yo ka gore a be le yona and go dimo ga mowe go tlo ba le melao ye santse re e bolele le permit e tlo go botsa gore this dog must not be in close proximity with people, this dog must not be left unattended, this dog must not be for days without feeding it.
Okay.
It's an animal after all. So tona le melao ye ba go gona ye tsamishana le permit ye motho tla be ai humane gore a fetsa ai ba lempia eo. So yes, you need to have some form of a paperwork for you to have an animal irrespective of a pit bull. We know that there are people that owning tigers.
True.
There are people that are owning lions. There are people that are owning snakes. There are people that are owning tortoises. All these things di nyaka permit ka baka la re ka molao go ka feletsa wena le phofolo e le gore bila ona permit ya yona go ra gore o fitile o robile molao go re it's a criminal offense.
Sure.
That's why batho ba fetsa ba tshwara because ba fetsa ba le diphofolo without a permit, and diphofolo tsa ona go mana diphofolo tse le gore we regard them as wild animals di feletsa ile gore di ba in conflict with people. That's why we call it human wildlife conflict.
Sure.
There's that conflict between people and the animal. In this case ba mpya le batho.
Cause what's le mo marketing in most cases ne o krebo Joshua ba di tshwere ka mapanta ba tlhehla ka tsona mo strateng wa kusha, and like I got chomoa mo like o tlo direla ka ona derene, so like o nyoko mpotsa gore like Joshua ka rena ke ena rata ke tseba Joshua o tlhehla ka mtjalte ka dlala shobiak, so like I got chomoa mo ya lo mamotho like ba tlo dira gore a tshwariwe or jong.
Again, it goes back to the permit, lady rules tsa tsona. If the permit is saying to you or this dog must not leave your household, by default ga o itshwere mo strata ga re sto robile molao before bile re ka re wena o itshwere ka a leash. If a pit bull molao ena re asetsana o tswa mo jarateng and wena o tsule ka yona go ra re as neighbors you must report that right away. You must not wait for an incident to happen. Go mana batho ba re na re mmoditse re mmone ke gala re mmona dira so why is it that you never said anything before?
True.
Why we metse go be le an incident? So ka bo yona ka itlo ba gore o robile molao then wa re motho ona sentsore a ding a tshwariwe. Again engwa hape dira gore batho ba fetsele gore ba ba on the wrong side of the law is that re ba le ntwe la gone re tlwaetse.
Okay.
It's okay, like it's okay na ra ke mama ra motseba o phela ra loka ka dimpsia o phela di ke style until an incident happen. That's when you start asking gore o na le permit ke nnetse, like you start asking those things. Why is it that every time re na le di neighbors ge ba ena le the wild animals ba na le diphofolo tse le gore we regard them as dangerous, why re sa investigate nana, is this legal? Does this person have a permit? Wa dumella gore a be le yona mo the type of a environment re lo mona ya dumela. Again diphofolo tse dingwe a sena go ba ko makeisheneng, tse dingwe a sena go ba mo di sababong sa lo bana di khomo ko sababong.
No.
So why is it that it's okay for gore go be le certain things di be allowed to communication?
Touché. Tina, I get you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we must be very, very careful when we allow things to happen and then only later we should have. It's already late. And if you about the pitbull, when you go, if I have to go back to it, pitbull has always been there.
Sure.
What went wrong?
Good question.
Why is it that the protector banga ba tsona all of a sudden go na le incident whereby pit bulls di fetsa diba out of control?
Sure.
Could it be that go bilele inbreeding? Could it be that di bile mistreated? Because another thing phofolo a tshwana na lwena ge re ka lwa mo motseng ke khona o botsa gore a se ntshware pile phofolo ge le ra se tshware pile e ka se bolele tlo thomo diang go attack. The only language until la phofolo e tseba go attack nothing. It's on le an elephant.
Sure.
An elephant ranch mo go tsa the incident tsa di elephant ke tibisa batho go bile something that happened, and then elephant kana di lebala every time ge di bona a specific color ya go pere pholo white enyenyana kolonyane blue sale ya nya ka go charge mamtla ke a bona then ke nya go charge back. So the same way could happen with the animals. Maybe next door neighbor night tshwenya or monga yona sa e tshware botse, then ke a way of it communicating to say I'm not happy. Unfortunately I'm not happy ka yona batho ba fetsa ba lose maphelo a bona.
True. So na bilele na like in your field ne le khono like their collaboration le batho ba SPCA, if that's the right term, then le khono dira le khono tsama mo di community, like you educate about it. And maybe because when I look at like once in a while, okay, no understand okay ba tlhabela dimja for the rabies and stuff like that. So like what's your take on that?
Fortunately, yes, that's true. We work with everyone that is concerned about in the environment. So anyone I advocate for environmental protection, we work with them. So in the Waterberg, we are very blessed because there's a lot of NGOs. There's a lot of organizations still they advocate for environmental protection that we work with either through environmental education and awareness or the actual preservation or the conservation of it. So your likes of SAPS.
Sure.
In this case, kita crime awareness, we work with them. Your CPFs, your police themselves, we work with them in terms of crime awareness. We work with the Department of Education, because Department of Education give access to the learners or the kids in this case. We work with your Department of Health, your Department of Social Development and so forth. Any program involve humans or by involve batho so yes, we do work with such organizations for raise the awareness, because as much as I raise the awareness about environmental protection, environmental conservation, but the element Letitia jack of all trades.
True.
I don't know nana the portfolio the bereka biang the jamara. I know someone who can. Then it means that if a community A says we have this type of a problem, then we then engage with that relevant stakeholder to come and intervene in the situation.
No, makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. Nagnyago ucha another question regarding that thing, because like and I do speak under correction. Your field, I love to believe for a male dominated field. You understand? So how do you fit in it?
When you're born in a family of girls only, you tend to be a little bit confused in between, because so you want to prove everything. That thing is only been done by boys, so I can do it.
Sure.
So you do male and female duties. But again, how I found myself in a male dominated industry was that it was passion. I was passionate about environmental things. I was passionate about conservation, irrespective of whether I'm male or female. And you're true. You're correct. A lot of times, I'm surrounded by males, because we find out okay. But we thank God, because now the more change.
All right.
I can lead peer educators on the career development initiatives, whereby young girls and young boys get to be taught and mentored. This thing is not only for girls only. This thing is not only for boys. You can always do it. So I'm a little more change. Yes, that is true. I found myself in a male-dominated industry, because I was passionate and committed. I found myself saying, it does not matter.
Okay.
And then I like working with men, to be honest with you, because men, it's all about the end product. It's all about it's about looking at the goal. We are all going there, and only a fair competition for Bereka in a male dominated, because go prove you can't do it. Go prove you can do it.
Sure.
So before you know it, you're all there at the end, because race high. So that's the only reason why Nakibile keeps stuck into this industry for this long, and I love it.
Around you, Nacho. So here's the thing. When I like makhuchisho, mkharu, bumakhuchisho, all falvater. You understand? Ask me anything about this field, or more field in your because as people are only wise to what we're exposed to. I'm just saying. So like, what my advice or like, okay, cool. To be able to be in this field, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right. First and foremost, I can let this believe something. I did something because I rata.
True.
Not because Letitia is thriving in it. Because I also know Letitia was a guy before a thriver. So you must first love it. After loving it, you must then research about it. After researching about it, go and ask Letitia Nana how is she thriving about it. So what I'm saying, or don't start at Letitia, how are you doing it? Start at, do I love it? How do I go about it? Then how Letitia got there. All right, going back to the question. Zoologist, it's a career involve animal behavior, involve environmental management, involve environmental protection, involve environmental conservation. So it's broad. What I'm saying is broad.
Sure.
So there's a zoologist that deals with plants. There's a zoologist that deals with mammals. There's a zoologist that deals with birds. There's a zoologist that deals with fish. For example, now I studied fish. So anything to do with fish, that's what I studied. There's a zoologist that did reptiles. There's a zoologist elephants only. So how you go about it, you start by a mere plain degree. We call it Bachelor of Science.
Okay.
So you do a Bachelor of Science. That's where you do subjects such as biology, physical science, chemistry, maths, English. You do botany, you do zoology, you do microbiology. Could you do a variety of things? Why? They want you to fall in love with a specific subject before you say, I want to become a zoologist. In case one day you wake up and say, nah, I'm scared of the hohos anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because zoology,
Sure.
like at our department from ground floor to the last floor, the scales, everything that is got to do with animals. So right now you're not in the zoology, you must move to microbiology. Microbiology the labs study the parasites, study the microbes and so forth. In the lab you work with a microscope. Then not that side. From there, after a degree, then that's when guys got on a sort of more specialized. That's where you say, Letitia, I'm doing fish, I'm doing that. But yeah, that's such in a nutshell how a zoologist come about. You do a mere degree. From a mere degree, then you then do honors. You specialize. From honors, when you do your masters, go up or alleviate your qualification. Then PhD, you are a doctor, you're a professional in the zoology industry. And then from there, then you then start looking for jobs in the industry environment. And funny enough, people every time when they see me, they ask, now how come I better go to zoo? Because I get the zoologists, they must work in a zoo or nature reserve or a farm. It goes back to passion. If you're passionate about environmental things, you will do anything as long as you are protecting the environment. Even if it means you must work at high school, an educator. You'll do that.
True.
Yes.
But everything, like in any field, everything is give and take. You understand? So learn and understand in your field there are advantages and also disadvantages. So I can get like only the bright side or other part as well. You understand? So again, I did and okay, sure, but what's the advantage and also the disadvantage? The
advantage of being a zoologist is that you are in a rare skill industry. How many zoologists do you know more? So it's rare. But the disadvantage is that if you fell up below, you're not gonna thrive. So there are people that did zoology but America right away. There are people that did zoology to this day they haven't worked. There are people like Letitia that did zoology. They had to hustle before they got to where they are today. So one of these three people, University of Tamobo, zoology is not for you. Zoology is about passion. It's about being passionate. It's about saying, even if I don't get a job, as long as I've made an impact in someone's life, as long as I change someone's perspective about environmental issues. Like it at ease every time when I teach someone about environmental issues, then they come back to me and say, I didn't know that. Now I know. I'm going to do the following. That's fulfilling to me enough, because at least I've changed someone's life. So that's all about being a zoologist, that you must be willing to go extra miles.
Sure.
And you must be willing to be outside your box. Don't say zoology means I must work for XYZ companies. For XYZ, if they don't come on board, I'm gonna sit down and you'll be depressed because you're waiting for XYZ. And in life, it's not even about zoology. In life, you mustn't expect things to just come to you
just like that.
You must work hard. You must know the people. You must network with the right people. You must know who's who in way. You must volunteer. When you volunteer, that's when you get more recognition, because you never know volunteer go what zoo and then someone comes as a guest, I'm a volunteer here. I've got an opening at my company.
Yeah.
Come and work for me. So you see the importance of going an extra mile and also volunteering. Volunteering, you're getting the skill at the same time you're getting recognition. What are the chances that you'll be recognized? Degree.
Nah, never.
Compared to when you are volunteering somewhere, you do a job shadowing. Because some of the things you cannot learn go university. Go university and start learning how to deal with people. We didn't know how to deal with issue study, problem solving at workplace, time management, admin. Like such things you don't learn at university. You learn them go workplace.
Sure.
And now I'm talking about here, straight from university, usina any form of experience. I'm telling you, unless you go TUT, because they do practicals. There are more. Another thing. Yeah, that thing that goes back to advantages. It depends on where you studied. Go study university. You'll do 90% theory, maybe 10% practical. And practical, I want to go university. But when you do go TVET and the TUTs, there are 2 years of theory. The whole year, you get experiential training. Experiential training, you go to a workplace where learner at the job.
Yeah. So
you must be careful when you study. Do I want to do a degree or a diploma? Times are, it's no longer what degree is more important than what diploma.
True.
The most important thing now knowledge. Do you have the knowledge of the industry now?
Yeah.
Every time in an interview, they always check knowledge industry. Now study genetics now, genetics A to Z. Can you apply genetics now?
Sure.
Yes, that's the most important.
So when I'm Pile Letitia, since a friend of our show, ne? Because Moka Sirnani di Kolonian Banyan. So if maybe I invite her when I was like, okay, can you go to Mkhatshwa or whatever, like to educate Mola, like even just for 30 minutes. Okay, can you do that for us?
Yes, that's what we do. That's what I do on a daily basis, to be honest with you. So part of my job is to raise environmental awareness. We teach schools, learners. We teach communities. Let me not say teach. Let me withdraw my weight. Yeah, teach. We make people aware.
True.
Or environmental conscious. On issues still or the other affect on a daily basis. Because the minute you say I'm teaching someone, how did you know I don't know these things? I know them.
Touché. Yes,
so you raise awareness.
Yeah.
So yes, that's what we do. We raise awareness in schools on environmental issues, like simple things. A wetland. Do you know what a wetland is?
No, I don't.
Do you know the importance of a wetland? Do you know for February we are celebrating wetland besides Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day is just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
The whole cake is the wetland.
Yo, last.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've got wetland. Wetland is an area where it's always wet, it's always moist.
Yeah.
And then most importantly, you find the matlak, those reeds. That's a wetland. We have this kind of ecosystems more the areas, especially the township. Mara you find them or diba polluted because dampa kamara. And in the wetland, it's only provide metsi. Metala nyunyo hanyana so. Hanyana then after more than eba sidiba. Mara ka tlisa ba sidiba ka na lo na re latlela di chida ka kwa.
True.
And rnale sona more nale a biggest wetland more between Nabom and Modimul and Nels Flay.
Yeah.
It's a Ramsar site. A Ramsar site means that the beds they come all the way from wherever.
Yeah.
Di itlamo wetland in you.
Sure.
Kanike habitat ya tsona. Someone comes from China, I itlamo Nabo. Anya go bona that bed. Anaka go wetland in yena ka go Nels Flay. Mara ka ba na lo na re polluter. No nyane na tlo chava. Let me give you a typical example.
Okay.
Roof, and everything. One day, you wake up, there's nothing. Everything is taken away. What do? You move to the next comfortable area. The same with animals. The wetland, the noka, the taba, mabu, the tare. Ke habitat ya tsona. So ga di ka re di buya one day ta khomana se tlharesela ne se dula mo sona se sego. It moves to another area. And the more they are moving, the more sa tlhodisa ba go gona mo rena. And water bag ka bo yona ke selete se le gore se tseba ka tsa weird, tourism. So the tourists, they come in because of the animals and the plants that we have in the area. But if we pollute and if we keep on killing the animals, if we keep on cutting the trees, then there's nothing to showcase our tourists. Then they move to Kruger. So that's my job on a daily basis. My job is to teach.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a big yes. I'm available to raise environmental awareness to our learners. And there are lady programs that are suited for different age groups. So the little ones are programs, the middle ones are programs, the older ones are programs. And we align our environmental programs to their curriculum.
Okay.
So bana ko class ba dia photosynthesis.
Yeah.
So we come and do the practical element of it. Then that way, then they understand photosynthesis in the field. A practical example on like a photosynthesis with practical demonstration.
That's dope.
And then we also work with other stakeholders by the means and the resources to access these protected areas, like your nature reserve and farms. So those very stakeholders, they will come and say, okay, the school has got 600 learners. We are looking for 25 of them to go to Nels Flay.
Yeah.
That's how, that's the linkage. That's the networking that we do. And a lot of them, they've been to Nels Flay, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To Nels Flay to go and see the wetland, to go and see the animals, to go and learn about environmental issues. That's where we come in. We network with the right people in order to get our learners to be environmentally aware.
Yeah, but in your field, Letitia, you travel a lot because you understand? So in a way, I affect you because you are married, right? For people who don't know, she's married. So I affect you like your marriage in a way, the up and down, moving up and down.
You know what? Think about a cop. Think about a nurse.
Yeah.
Think about a traffic cop.
Sure.
Put me in that same circle. To me, it's about saving. I'm saving my community.
Yeah.
It's not about traveling. As much as the nurse goes to a night shift, aya go tlhokomela balwetse. Le nna ke tsoga ka 8 ke travela to Marakele. Ke ya go ruta batho ba go tlhaba zimpi ka environment, then I come back. So nna le nurse re a tshwana.
Sure.
We are all saving. We are saving communities. It just happened gore nna I'm traveling to serve the communities. So that question, I'm going to take it back to you and say, what does the cop say about their partner? This stake out.
Yeah.
Do you say, how do you feel when you go on a stake out and essentially it's already criminal? Say, familiar how under threat or something. True. It goes back to I took an oath to say I will serve my community, I will serve my country irrespective of whether my job is dangerous or not. So going back to that, yes, I do travel a lot. Sometimes I do go away for a week or 3 days. Thanks to COVID, we've worked from home for a long time.
Yeah.
So yes, I do travel a lot. I am married to a wonderful man. The type of work that I do. Now my wife one day, I need to write a proposal. My wife report tomorrow. So I'll flexible, if I may put like that. I will 8 to 4. I say 8 to 4. I don't do 8 to 4.
Yeah.
I do any time is tea time.
Sure.
But one thing for sure, I make sure I balance my work life and my marriage or my personal life. I also have a spiritual life. So every Sunday, it's a no. I go to church. I don't even like a compromise. Sundays for church.
Yeah. And
then Saturdays for family. Monday to Fridays for work. So that's how I manage my time. That's how I balance my life. That in a way, I make sure as much as I'm saving, the responsibilities that I need to fulfill at home after 5.
Okay, so do you have kids at the moment?
No, I don't have kids at the moment. So it's just me and my husband, the two of us.
Can you affect the way you travel or just a personal choice? It's like, nah, not now, Joe.
I believe that kids are blessings.
Yeah.
They are a gift from God.
Yeah.
So if they come, it's because God blessed you. If they don't, it's because maybe God believe that it's not the right time.
True.
So in my case, I believe that it is not the right time for me to have a family yet. But I believe that I'm going to be a mother one day.
Yeah.
Of beautiful boys or beautiful
True.
girls.
Yeah.
That I'm going to have a complete family. But yeah, it's not because of my traveling, because my husband works in a industry where it's flexible.
Yeah.
So if there was a way I'm away a lot, I go away with him. My work allows me to take my spouse along. So it's not that I can take him along. If
Yeah.
let's go and come back. It's when I go to the shop and come.
Sure, gets that.
Yes.
Yeah, but you said something like linkage, like agro like the stakeholders, like okay, but go play it already so secret. You know what I mean? So like nagarata like off air, you know what I mean? So we can do something also for our community since you are still here, you know what I mean? Since you are the friend of the show. Understand?
Definitely. And I'm sure whoever is watching at the moment, they go like, how can I work with Boletishia? How can I partner with Boletishia? Where are Boletishia? We are based in Falvater, but we service the whole Waterberg. So if someone is from Lephalale saying, well, I'm in Lephalale, I'm doing more or less what you're doing, let's join hands and service Lephalale town. I'm available. If someone is in Tabazimbi says, I'm in Tabazimbi, what you just said is what I'm doing. How can we go about partnering and working together and making sure that we serve our people in terms of environmental protection and conservation? That person is welcome. So in other words, I'm saying we work with whoever. I work for a non-government organization, by the way, non-profit organization. So non-profit organization is all about community empowerment.
Sure.
It's all about youth empowerment. Now, one thing for sure, I advocate for youth empowerment. Give me young people anytime, then you win me.
Yeah, since we were on the topic for or someone if you or information on how to understand. So like maybe an information where to send whatever they want to send, but not your number. You know what I mean? Maybe your email or your social handles as well.
All right. So in terms of my email, let me give you my work email. So my work email, it's Waterberg, like the way we spell Waterberg. Waterberg, BR, B for beauty, R for Rupert, at gmail.com. That is the simplest email. Then we've got another work email. It's info@waterbergbiosphere.com. That is the second one. Then our social handles, you find us on Facebook. Facebook is Waterberg Biosphere Reserve. Waterberg Biosphere Reserve. And then LinkedIn also, it's Waterberg Biosphere Reserve.
No, thank you. Next time, like maybe another question or anything. Mr. Tema, you good? Joshua, you good?
Agere Udira a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
So where does the money come? Because of traveling requires a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are a non-profit organization that relies on external funders. And you know how NPO and funding works, again. You apply, it's either reject or approve. So we apply for funding, then those that get approved, then we then implement. So we get operational costs from government. So the organization that I work for is one of the programs government. So government then support us in terms of operational costs. So operational cost is Letitia airtime, Letitia travel, Letitia printing, Letitia stationery, Letitia to run stipend,
Sure.
Letitia to go to Tabazimbi for 2 days. That costs. That's operational cost. Letitia rent. So where we are operating at the moment, we are renting from the landlord. So that operational cost is coming from government. So we then get that funding from the provincial department responsible for environment and tourism. I'm sure we all know it. And then besides that, if you go to our social media, we've got projects, different projects. One of them came the gardens, community gardens and school gardens. That itself is being funded by a certain organization. If you go to our, I'm not sure, can I disclose who are we being funded from? So we then get funding for that particular project that deals with gardens. We also have another project, the capacity building. That itself also get funded from a specific funder. But on our social media, we always disclose it, or this program funded by this activity funded by this, all the programs.
To disclose.
All right, then that's fine. We get funding from the Resilient Water Program, and then we also get our funding from Waterback Rhino UK. Those two organizations. Then we also get our operational cost from LEDET. We call them the Limpopo Economic Development, Environment and Tourism. That's where we get our funding from.
Yeah. So then other questions? Jornya information ka fair. So why not sharp like let's maybe if you wanna add something on top of whatever we asked.
No, I don't have anything.
And la bona re juluka jwang if you makeup artist, makeup artist una ne dilo ne, please come and join our show. You need a makeup artist. Manswara. So re khona wa bona le t-shirt ke bolela ne twa bona.
Yes.
Exactly. So, yo man, this is another episode of the Real Talk podcast, man. We're closing the show, so we'll do it again next week. This is your boy, the one charismatic voice, the one who goes face, aka TT Mkhatshwa, and we are here.
All the way from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. And now,
Real Talk Podcast.